Hello viewers, welcome to Hila-P Sports and Entertainment TV. We are back again and this is midweek review. Sibian, you are welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
We'll be discussing about the Premier League. What really played out right there in the English Premier League last weekend. We'll start with Chelsea, going to Burnley to beat Burnley right there, by 2-0. Sibian, that game it was what I expected because you mentioned that Chelsea have the upper hand, to be able to go home with the 3 points, but they went there and they did what they expected of them.
Exactly.
They had to beat Burnley.
Yeah, they got the job done, and we all expected them to get the 3 points, and they didn't disappoint. So yes. I think Chelsea this season has been a case of ups and downs, but against Burnley, I think they came out and with a lot of good coordinations, and I mean, it was a wonderful game. If you watch the game, they actually played like a big team in that game, and they got the whole 3 points. Okay, which is very good.
Okay, what can you say about Hila-P? He has been misfiring, and he has not been able to, get the back of the net. But so far so good. He has been, I think, trying to play. He has been a team player. He has been trying to kind of make the runs and do one or two for the team. But the goal is yet to come.
Yeah, he's a hard worker. If you watch the game, he was really trying all his best to get in the score sheet in the game, but the goal has not been coming. I think it's concerning because the strikers should be scoring the goals. But if you look at the way Chelsea has played this season, most of the goals has come from the midfielders and defenders or the wingers. The strikers has to start scoring. And when we talk about the strikers, Delap, Joao Pedro, Magui, it hasn't really been the case. Joao Pedro had all the chances, had the opportunities to score a lot of goals when Delap was injured, and Gui always coming from the bench. So, but in the last 4, 5, 4, 6 matches, he has scored just 1 goal. Talking about Joao Pedro, Delap's case is a very different one. He just came back. He just came back from injury, a long-term injury, and then since then, he's been trying to do all the work to see if he can get to the scholarship, but it's not working. But I think they will not they will not allow that situation to bother them at all, since as long as they are getting the goals.
Okay, we are talking about the team keep winning. We're looking at the second goal in that particular game. Magui making that runs and also making the assist. I think you can give credit to him that he really came in and showed that yes, that I need to do this to make sure to showcase that yes, we are not lacking. At least even if we cannot be able to score the goals, we can be able to now we can be able to do the assist. I think he did.
Yeah, he did. He got he came on and in the second half, later stages of the second half, and he got an opportunity. That singular opportunity was all he needed to make an impact in that game. And when he did that, it gets to show you how determined he is at the moment to fight for that position, because now we have Chelsea has 3 strikers, Gui, Joao Pedro, and Delap. But he's the third in the pecking order when you consider the other 2. But he's trying to make a case for himself. And when he came on and made the run he did, and then dropped the ball on the plate for Enzo Fernandez. Now I'm not very sure the coach's confidence in him would have increased a little bit. So if he continues that way, I think he's going to push Delap and Joao Pedro a lot this season.
Okay, Sibian, talking about the league, the champions are being humiliated at home right there at Anfield by Nottingham Forest. This is their 6th loss in 7 matches so far. Sibian, I don't know what is happening to Liverpool.
Well, it's very embarrassing. It's an embarrassing situation. It's a very sorry situation for Liverpool. Having won the league last season, and they came in this season as the defending champions. Everybody expected. A lot of people gave them the favorite tag this season as well, because with the way they blew off teams last season, we all thought they were going to replicate that form this season. But unfortunately, it's not the case as it is now. Liverpool are in shambles. I'm very sure now. In fact, it's getting into a total collapse. I mean, it's getting into a very bad situation where I'm very sure the board will be thinking, what do we do? Do we lay this? Do we take this? Do we sack this coach? Do we give him more time? Does he even have the capacity to even get this team back to winning ways? Now it's a very serious situation. Then this losing against Nottingham Forest in at Anfield was, I think, is
By 3 goals to nil.
by 3 goals to nil. I mean, it's the biggest,
look at the
it's the
match.
biggest shock.
Look at the match.
You understand? Because this Nottingham Forest team is the same team that everybody has been beating, and then the same team that have been having issues since the season started. So coming to Anfield to get the 3 points, the way they did, 3 goals to nothing. I mean, the Liverpool defense, they're just everywhere. The defense are just everywhere. There's no coordination. They're just making one mistake from one mistake to the other. And again, the coach, normally when a team loses, when a team is not performing, the coach is always takes the credit if a team is performing, and when they are not performing, he takes the discredit. So as it stands now, and Slot is actually the one to blame, because when you look at the way they against Nottingham Forest, some of the substitutions he made was questionable, because you expect a coach of his caliber to find a solution when his team is in this kind of situation.
Yes.
But it was very difficult for him. The substitutions that he was making was not even aligning with what the fans were feeling like. This is what should have been done to salvage this situation. But he was just there and then making those calls that was not helping the team. So at this juncture, it's very difficult for anybody to even come out and say that Arne Slot is the one to take Liverpool out of this mess.
Okay, now going to Bournemouth, they were home against West Ham. Now the West Ham was lead them by 2 goals to nil. But at the end of the day, they came back, like you actually said during the midweek preview, that these guys are not really, they are really, rolling back. In fact, they're not doing what they're not maintaining the momentum of which they started the season with. But now, I think, but at least we can give credit to them that they were able to, come back and get a point in that game.
Yeah, it's a credit to them, like you mentioned. But then going down 2-0 against Bournemouth was even shocking, because Bournemouth, since the season started, Bournemouth were like they started showing flashes of brilliance, and then making everybody understand that they're not in the 2025-2022 seasons to Premier League season to play. So everybody expected that maybe if they're able to continue with that momentum, that form, maybe till the end of December, okay, maybe probably they'll at least get an European qualification at the end of the season. But over the past couple of weeks, it has been a very different story. They've taken a foot off the pedal, because the way they play at the moment, the confidence is going down. The morale, the motivation is even like when you see a fixture involving Bournemouth, before now you will expect that, okay, this is actually going to be a very tough team for the opponent, But as it stands now, Bournemouth are going down. And then if they cannot come back, maybe Semenyo's injury has played a part, maybe, but it's not an enough excuse for you to say that this is why we've dropped in our form, because of a single player and all that. So, but they were lucky. I think we should give it to them for even coming back to get a draw. Because I thought it was over for them after they considered 2 goals.
Definitely. Okay, looking at Wolves. Wolves are despite changing manager. Wolves are still going down. They have not been able to win games. Now they're losing to Crystal Palace by 2 goals to nil. See, in that game, we all expected that it's going to be this way. But we are thinking that it's a new manager with a new manager, new momentum, new spirit, that Wolves is going to fight, their way through to be, even if it's get a draw against the London side. But at the end of the day, they lost at home.
Yeah, it's I think we should. It's safe to say at the moment that Wolves will be the first team in the relegation. When you want to mention teams that are going to be relegated at the end of the season, I think Wolves is already. It will take a miracle.
Definitely,
a rare miracle for them to even come out of the situation they are in now and avoid relegation, because the way they are now, I think Wolves are dead and buried already. So the match against Crystal Palace was not really that much of a surprise, because Crystal Palace, they are really doing well at this season. So for them to go to Wolves and then get the 3 points and came out with a clean sheet, I mean, it's wonderful. Guess it helps their quest as well. So it's a good outing, and it's quite unfortunate for Wolves because this is a team that usually was difficult for other teams, Premier League teams, to beat.
Yeah.
But this season is very easy to get 3 points from Wolves, whether you are playing them in your home or in their home.
Okay, looking at Brighton, Brentford really wanted to give Brighton a frightening one at home right there, but Brighton at the end of the day came up on top, and they have to beat Brentford by 2-1.
Yeah, it was a very interesting game because in that game there was an opportunity, a very wonderful opportunity for Brentford to get to equalize the goal with that penalty, which they missed. I think their striker missed. The Brighton goalkeeper had to make the save.
Yeah.
So if they had scored that goal, maybe it would have ended 2-2. But luckily enough for Brighton, their goalkeeper made the save and then they got the 3 points. Yeah. And if you remember last week we talked about this game and where we actually said it could go either way.
Either way,
it's a game that could actually go either way, and it could have been the case because it was nearly a draw, but at the end of the day, Brighton took the day.
Okay, Fulham also taking the day against Sunderland. You know, that particular game, we also in the preview we spoke about this particular game. You know, Sunderland going away. You know, scaring opponents and digging deep and make sure they get a point or even the 3 points. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Fulham, despite their poor run of form in two of their last games, they came up on top and then they had to beat Sunderland.
Yeah, they actually came out in that game prepared. I think they had maybe they had a different mindset, a different approach, because they like you mentioned, the past couple of matches they've played in the Premier League, they've not really been impressive. They've not been doing what everybody expected them to do.
Yeah.
But against Sunderland, they came out prepared. They were actually pressing, but it took a lot of time before they got the goal. When Samuel Chukwueze came on in the second half and then made a cross, which their striker scored. So when they got the goal, I think it was already when they scored the goal, it was already clear that they were going to get the 3 points because I think they were the better team in that game from the onset.
Okay, looking at the surprising one last weekend, Man City going to Newcastle and had to lose that game by 2 goals. Despite scoring first, I think they scored first in that game, but at the end of the day, Newcastle had to come up and they took the day with their 3 points. Because I know definitely we discussed within the preview. We spoke about at least the Newcastle team. They have been finding it difficult to excel in the Premier League.
Yeah.
But they surprised us in last weekend and they had to beat City by 2-1. And despite that, Pep Guardiola was so furious, with the officiating. I don't know. Well, I can't understand why he was, upset.
It's always difficult for Man City to get the whole 3 points in a game that Haaland does not perform.
Yeah.
Whenever he goes missing in a game, it's always difficult for them to win the match, even though they had a lot of opportunities to actually win that game. I mean, when I think Newcastle scored first,
and
then the
equalized.
Ruben Diaz equalized, and then Newcastle scored again. I think Javier Barnes.
Yeah, Javier Barnes.
Now, even when he scored all those goals, Foden was getting a lot of chances. He got there was a chance he got that could have was on a plate for him. He could have just scored the goal very easily, but he missed it, and then I think it actually worked against them, and it's clearly it's very, very clear that Haaland is their main source of goals. For Manchester City. Whenever Haaland does not do that, does not get them the goals, it's always difficult for them to score. So losing against Newcastle, I think, is a very, very big blow for Pep Guardiola. You would understand this when the game ended. He was I think furious with the officiating.
Definitely.
Because when Liverpool lost, and then Arsenal were going to play Tottenham. So in his mind, it was like, okay, if he gets the 3 points that he needs, then he will close the gap from I think from 4 points to 1 point before Arsenal's game. So and it would have been it would have actually put in pressure on Arsenal. But he could not do that. He could not get the 3 points. So Newcastle came and crashed the party for him. So it's a very bad situation for them now. they are going to Arsenal is topping them with I think 7 points or
7 points. Yeah,
about.
7 points.
So which which is not good for Manchester City because they are the biggest rivals of Arsenal at the moment. So.
Yeah. Because I wanted to talk about this that you just discussed about, because I know that Chelsea, for me, Chelsea is not yet at that level.
No,
I know as we're expecting, to fight for the title. But let's see how it goes, because this is Premier League, and for me, Arsenal are really the title. The title loser. They are the favorites.
They are the favorite,
so
clear
if
favorite.
anything that will make them let them not win.
Jamie, was it Jamie Carragher or was it Gary Neville? He said, I think Jamie Carragher said, Arsenal. The only team that can stop Arsenal is themselves.
Yes.
They are the only teams that can stop themselves from winning the league. And he's very right. I think that's the first time I'm actually agreeing with Jamie Carragher.
Definitely.
Do you understand? Because if you look at the situation now in the Premier League, Arsenal is the team to beat.
At the moment.
Anybody that they are playing knows this. And they are very good in all departments, from defense, midfield, and attack. I mean, they have wonderful individual players from the defense and then.
Aston Villa had to go to Leeds and beat Leeds by 2-1. Though it was well expected, because we expected Villa to be able to get that 3 points, or even if a draw. But then they went there and got the 3 points.
Yeah, it was a very good one for Aston Villa. Yeah. Since the first, I think the first 4 games of the season, or the first 5 games of the season, they were very poor. But after that period, they picked up, and they started picking up points here and there, and getting 3 points both home and away. And I mean, as it stands now, their momentum, the momentum is there. This strong belief that they can actually replicate their performance last season.
Yeah.
So, and if they continue this way, I don't see anything stopping them if they can continue the way they are going at the moment. They are just picking 3 points here and there, and it's a very good one for their coach, Unai Emery.
Okay, nice one. And now we are still, let's discuss about what happened. Okay, Arsenal beating Tottenham right there at Emirates by 4-1. We expected Arsenal to come up on top, like you discussed, like you also predicted. But by good difference is what really disturbed me. By Tottenham conceding 4 goals, right there at Emirates. It's a very worrying, disturbing.
Yeah. First of all, let me even say something about Tottenham Hotspur. I think Tottenham Hotspur, even though they are not in the 15th position or 16th position like they finished last season, but I think Tottenham Hotspur of last season is stronger than what they have at the moment. I think it was a very big mistake to let Ange go. I think they should have allowed that man, allowed him to be in the manage the team for this season.
Yes.
Because Thomas Frank has not really improved that team. Even with all the players they brought in,
he hasn't.
He has not even been able to manage those new players.
He hasn't.
Look at Xavi Simon. Look at Kolomuani. I mean, these guys are normal serial winners. These are people that are experienced players.
Yes.
But since coming to Tottenham Hotspur, they've been a shadow of themselves. He has not been able to actually integrate them into the team and then make a very effective use of those new signings. Now, when you look at the big teams that Tottenham have played this season, look at their match against Chelsea, their match against Manchester United. They've not really performed that much. They've not really been anything worthy of note in their performance. Then against Arsenal, it was a very, very poor performance from Tottenham. A very, very poor one, because I think it took them an error from Zubimendi for them to have the first shot, whether on target or off target in that game, which was the goal that Richarlison scored from almost the center half. So against Arsenal I watched the game, and then I was like, I saw a team that was going down. I saw a team that was not showing any effort to even improve, and I think I will put the whole blame on the coach. Thomas Frank, yes, we know he's a wonderful coach. I mean, he did a lot of good work in Brentford, but coming to Tottenham, he has not been able to actually improve this team. And then again, I would want to say one or two about Ebere Echeze. When Ebere Echeze was signed in Arsenal past summer, personally, I told myself that this is an improvement.
Definitely.
This guy alone has improved Arsenal. If their chances of winning the league was 70%, this guy has added like 20%, because Ebere Echeze is a wonderful footballer.
Definitely.
So against Tottenham, he took it upon himself Even
deliver.
we all know what happened in the summer. Tottenham wanted to sign, was close to signing him
Yes.
before Arsenal came and hijacked the deal. And then even Thomas Frank, during his pre-match briefing, when he was asked about Eberechi, he jokingly said, "Who is Eberechi? Who is Eze?" And then and it was a joke. But unfortunately, when they lost 4-1 and the Eberechi scored 3 goals, a lot of people in this online came out and they started picking on that his comment. I was like telling him, now you know who he is.
Yes.
Because in as much as I know he said it jokingly, he probably must have said it as well because he felt he rejected them and went to
And there's
Arsenal.
no way they were recognizing
Yes,
him.
he wouldn't want to praise him.
And
He wouldn't
discuss
want to
about him.
accept
Yeah.
the reality
Yeah.
and say that this is a very good player.
Yeah.
Although he do mention that he was a good player, but still, as a playing the way he played that very day, it was out of this world. He just single-handedly dismantled Tottenham Hotspur. And it was very easy for him. He didn't even need to stress himself.
Yeah.
He just scored the 2 goals.
But Frank was brought in as an upgrade to their former manager. But I was expecting, the changes that he requires. Is it that the players he has at the moment? Because I've seen one or two of his interviews. He has been calling on the board, on the Tottenham board, to be able to, go into the market and get him the players he needed. Is it that are we calling that the players are really not enough for him?
Yeah, normally every time a coach loses games and every time maybe they had 1 or 2 options of kind of type of players they want the board to get for them and they are not being given those players, they'll always complain, they'll always say this and that. The point is, when he came to Tottenham Hotspur, he was given a mandate. He was actually expected to improve this team. Now, when I started doubting his capabilities, his chances, or his qualities, because in as much as he was in Brentford, he was doing well. I've never seen him win a trophy.
Yeah.
If he had won one in the past, I don't know, but I've never seen him win a trophy. He's not that experienced. Do you understand?
That's where your bone of contention.
Now, why I had to make this reasoning towards him was when he played PSG in the UEFA Super Cup. I mean, he was winning that match, I think 2-0.
Yes.
And
within 10 minutes.
In the 9 minutes, they have to equalize.
Within 10 minutes,
it takes a coach that is experienced, that's known what it is like to win trophies, to actually hold on. When you are beating PSG 2-0, there should not be any reason why you should lose that match.
Not even
something minutes.
Thank you, my brother. Because that's the angle I was expecting to come in. Because when you're beating a team, so a manager like Mourinho or so on, even Enzo Maresca cannot be able to beat you.
They will find a way
with 2 goals.
Do you understand?
Them to,
now look at
even if you are to score, just score 1.
Look at Anje during when he was in played
Manchester United. Yes,
he scored just 1 goal,
and they
had to hold on.
Dig deep and they kept the game,
that's
to make sure that they maintain.
But Thomas Frank doesn't have that experience.
So are you expecting Frank not to last in Tottenham Hotspur?
Well, if he continues this way, he will not last.
Definitely, because I'm saying that
Daniel Levy is not a patient man at all.
Yeah, definitely. But Levy will be leaving soon, though. He will be leaving soon, but you never can tell. His successor might not be that. Will not even be, because for me, Daniel Levy is even calm. He's somebody that who will take time, give you the time you needed. But the person who's coming after him might not be that kind of person.
Yes, but why I said he might not have that person is I don't even understand why Andy was sacked.
Yeah, definitely.
I still can't understand it.
And they really messed the whole thing up. Okay, now the drama that happened on Monday Night Football, I read the Old Trafford, Manchester United losing with the 10 man Everton side, and not only 10 man Everton side, a game that is supposed to be Amorim the 1 year in the office, and then he lost that game. He lost that game to Everton, and also for the first time in the history of the manager David Moyes' career, he has never beaten Manchester United at home at Old Trafford. But he broke the jinx yesterday, and at the end of the day he got home. And if you look at him after that game, he was so happy. Body language will tell you that yes, after it's going to be impossible for me to break. I managed this team, and Everton beat me. While I managed this team, that was the first team they beat when I was at Manchester United 30 years ago. Now I'm now opposite manager. Let me just see if I'm going to be able to do this, against my former side. And he did it. And at the end of the day, but what surprises me is beating Manchester United with 10 men.
It's 1 man down. I mean, it was surprising. because I mean the red card, if we when
Gay. Ghana.
Idrissa Ghana got the red card, it was early in the first half.
13 minutes.
It was very early.
13 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately they got the red
13
card.
minutes.
It was, to me, I felt like it was over for Everton.
You have 77 minutes to be able to
get
dismantle even left for Manchester United. They would have beaten this guy by 5 goals.
Exactly. So in fact, I'm very sure even Everton fans and everybody felt like
it's over.
So it was all over.
They would have for me. Sorry, you continue. For me, like you said, the fans have already resorted to to taunting of Gray.
Yeah.
Because that was the area they're going. But at the end of the day, Gray was. People were saying that Gray maybe he has been playing inside in the dressing room to make sure that they keep on holding. Even if they draw, they wouldn't have blamed Gray.
Yes, they would have.
But that win really gave them a shift.
Yeah, the win was a very massive one for Everton.
Definitely did.
And for Manchester United, it's a very, very poor performance, because with 10 men down early in this first half, you are supposed to, and it's not like they've scored. They had to score with 10 men.
Yes.
This Hall had to he got a chance and then he took it. I mean, this Hall is a very fantastic player. He just came from Chelsea. He actually gave them this hope.
Yeah.
And the way he's being who he is built on it. I mean, he saw that, okay, since they were 10 men and they got this goal, because I think they scored the goal around 20-something minutes or something. Yeah. So he had to actually organize the team so that they can withstand whatever Manchester United would throw at them.
Yeah.
So, but it's generally is a very good performance from Everton. Okay. And Manchester United, it was an opportunity missed for them, because this is an opportunity for them to actually get closer to the top teams in the league.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they are not able to do that. And another thing that if you take from this, when Chelsea played Manchester United at home and they got the red card, Maresca started doing the changes he did,
which is not supposed to be.
You understand? Now, when you look at Everton, David Moyes, he didn't even make any changes
at all. He didn't.
He had to use the team he had,
let them
continue the game. And then look what is when you take your time and then look at the team,
what to do,
what they are doing in the pitch, even with 10 men. Then you now understand what type of changes that is required. And he didn't have to make any changes. He allowed them to continue, and they got the goal.
Definitely, they did.
Now it's a very different mindset. The way that's the difference between Moyes and Maresca. Experience and inexperience. Do you understand?
That's why Maresca uses these boys to do one or two. But I don't think he has experience at the moment.
Moyes level, as Maresca's level is still way below Moyes level. So Moyes got his tactics and his decision spot on yesterday.
I think this should be Maresca's second year in the top flight. So I think exactly. maybe he still has many years.
He has many years to learn the job.
Okay, that's this will end what we call the shocking weekend in the Premier League. Fans, the English EPL is concerned. United, finishing right there at home to losing to Everton, at Old Trafford, and also marking Amorim's 1 year in office. But he was disappointed, by losing that goal, to his opposite manager, David Moyes. Okay, we will be back by weekend to be able to give you the preview of what to expect this weekend. Thank you for staying with us, and we'll be back again.